Welcome back to Brain Fuel TV. Today we are testing your knowledge on the first book of the Bible, Genesis. We will be covering the great patriarchs like Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, as well as the story of Joseph in Egypt. There are 30 questions, and you have 10 seconds to answer each question. Before we begin, like this video and share it with your friends and family. All right, let's dive in. What did God call the gathering together of the waters? A. Seas. B. Oceans. C. Rivers. Answer: seas. Genesis 1:10. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters he called seas. And God saw that it was good. Who was the second oldest son of Jacob? A. Reuben. B. Levi. C. Simeon. Answer: Simeon. Genesis 29:33. Then she conceived again and bore a son, and said, Because the Lord has heard that I am unloved, he has therefore given me this son also. And she called his name Simeon. How many years did Enoch live on earth before God took him? A. 969. B. 365. C. 120. Answer: 365. Genesis 5:23-24. So all the days of Enoch were 365 years. And Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. Who was restored to his position while imprisoned with Joseph? A. The chief baker. B. The captain of the guard. C. The chief butler. Answer: the chief butler. Genesis 40:21. Then he restored the chief butler to his butlership again, and he placed the cup in Pharaoh's hand. How old was Abraham when he was circumcised? A. 99 years old. B. 86 years old. C. 100 years old. Answer: 99 years old. Genesis 17:24. Abraham was 99 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. What physical feature did Esau have at the time of his birth? A. Holding Jacob's heel. B. He was red and hairy. C. He was very tall. Answer: he was red and hairy. Genesis 25:25. And the first came out red. He was like a hairy garment all over. So they called his name Esau. Who was Melchizedek? A. The king of Sodom. B. The nephew of Abraham. C. The king of Salem. Answer: king of Salem and priest of God Most High. Genesis 14:18. Then Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine. He was the priest of God Most High. When did God visit Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden? A. In the cool of the day. B. At high noon. C. Early in the morning. Answer, in the cool of the day. Genesis 3:8. And they heard the sound of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. When building the Tower of Babel, what did the people use as mortar? A. Clay. B. Asphalt. C. Stone. Answer, asphalt. Genesis 11:3. Then they said to one another, "Come, let us make bricks and bake them thoroughly." They had brick for stone, and they had asphalt for mortar. What was the primary work of Jacob and his sons? A. Merchants. B. Crop farmers. C. Shepherds. Answer, shepherds. Genesis 46:32. The men are shepherds, for their occupation has been to feed livestock, and they have brought their flocks, their herds, and all that they have. Why did Adam call Eve a woman? A. She was the mother of all living. B. She was taken out of man. C. She was created after him. Answer, because she was taken out of man. Genesis 2:23. And Adam said, "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man." What was the length of Noah's ark? A. 50 cubits. B. 150 cubits. C. 300 cubits. Answer, 300 cubits. Genesis 6:15. And this is how you shall make it. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, its width 50 cubits, and its height 30 cubits. Who was the son born to Adam and Eve to replace Abel? A. Cain. B. Enoch. C. Seth. Answer, Seth. Genesis 4:25. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bore a son and named him Seth. For God has appointed another seed for me instead of Abel, whom Cain killed. How many years in total did Jacob serve for Leah, Rachel, and the flocks? A. 20 years. B. 14 years. C. 7 years. Answer, 20 years. Genesis 31:41. Thus I have been 20 years in your house. I served you 14 years for your 2 daughters, and 6 years for your flock, and you have changed my wages 10 times. Why did it grieve God that he had made man in the days of Noah? A. Wickedness of man. B. Sacrifices stopped. C. Building a tower. Answer, the wickedness of man. Genesis 6:5-6. Then the Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every intent of the thoughts of his heart was only evil, continually. And the Lord was sorry that he had made man on the earth, and he was grieved in his heart. Why did Abraham and Sarah go down to Egypt to dwell there? A. There was a famine. B. God commanded them. C. Fleeing from war. Answer: there was a famine in the land. Genesis 12:10. Now there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down to Egypt to dwell there, for the famine was severe in the land. Why did Jacob flee from Laban, his father-in-law? A. He wanted to return to Esau. B. Laban became jealous. C. Famine struck the land. Answer: Laban became jealous. Genesis 31:2. And Jacob saw the countenance of Laban, and indeed it was not toward him as before. How many people did Abraham plead for in Sodom the last time? A. 50. B. 10. C. 5. Answer: 10. Genesis 18:32. Then he said, "Let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak but once more. Suppose 10 should be found there." And he said, "I will not destroy it for the sake of 10. What did Isaac ask his father Abraham as they went to the place of the burnt offering? A. Where is the lamb? B. Where are we going? C. Will God provide? Answer: where is the lamb for a burnt offering? Genesis 22:7. But Isaac spoke to Abraham his father and said, "My father." And he said, "Here I am, my son." Then he said, "Look, the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering?" Who was the father of Rebekah, Isaac's wife? A. Laban. B. Nahor. C. Bethuel. Answer: Bethuel. Genesis 22:23. And Bethuel begot Rebekah. These 8 Milcah bore to Nahor, Abraham's brother. Why did Jacob send Joseph to his brethren in the field? A. Report about their well-being. B. Bring them food and water. C. Help them shear the sheep. Answer: report on their well-being. Genesis 37:14. Then he said to him, "Please go and see if it is well with your brothers and well with the flocks, and bring back word to me." What was the duty of the man in the Garden of Eden? A. To name the animals. B. To build a house. C. To tend and keep it. Answer: to tend and keep it. Genesis 2:15. Then the Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to tend and keep it. How many of Joseph's brethren went down to Egypt to buy grain? A. 11. B. 10. C. 12. Answer: 10. Genesis 42:3. So Joseph's 10 brothers went down to buy grain in Egypt. What was the name of Joseph's wife? A. Asenath. B. Zipporah. C. Bilhah. Answer: Asenath. Genesis 41:45. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zaphnath-Paneah, and he gave him as a wife Asenath, the daughter of Potiphera, priest of On. Why did God place cherubim at the east of the Garden of Eden? A. Guard the tree of life. B. To water the garden. C. To watch over the animals. Answer. To guard the tree of life. Genesis 3:24. So he drove out the man, and he placed cherubim at the east of the Garden of Eden, and a flaming sword which turned every way to guard the way to the tree of life. How many sons did Joseph have? A. 12. B. 2. C. 1. Answer. 2. Genesis 41:50. And to Joseph were born 2 sons before the years of famine came, whom Asenath, the daughter of Potiphera, priest of On, bore to him. Who was the father of Noah? A. Methuselah. B. Enoch. C. Lamech. Answer. Lamech. Genesis 5:28-29. Lamech lived 182 years and had a son, and he called his name Noah. What was the nationality of Hagar, Sarai's maidservant? A. Egyptian. B. Canaanite. C. Philistine. Answer. Egyptian. Genesis 16:1. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, had borne him no children, and she had an Egyptian maidservant whose name was Hagar. How many years did Adam live on earth? A. 969. B. 950. C. 930. Answer. 930. Genesis 5:5. So all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. Why did Esau sell his birthright? A. He valued it not. B. Because of hunger. C. Jacob tricked him. Answer. He was at the point of death from hunger. Genesis 25:32. And Esau said, Look, I am about to die, so what is this birthright to me? And that's a wrap on the book of Genesis. Let us know your final score in the comments below. We want to see who the real Bible scholars are. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to Brain Fuel TV for your next mental workout. Thanks for watching. Peace be with you.